The Philippine Islands are an archipelago of over 7,100 islands, laying about 500 miles or 805 kilometers off the southeast coast of Asia. The overall land area is comparable to that of Arizona. Only about 7% of the islands are larger than 1 square mile, and only 1/3 have names. The islands are of volcanic origin, with the larger ones crossed by mountain ranges. The highest peak is Mount Apo, 9,690 feet, or 2,954 meters, located on Mindanao. The Philippines is a picturesque patchwork of coral-fringed islands scattered in a turquoise sea. Life, both terrestrial and marine, is so diverse and abundant that the entire country is identified as one of the global hotspots of biodiversity. Mountain ranges rise to more than 2,000 meters in places. Their slopes draped in luxurious forest. Its white sand beaches are listed as some of the best in the world, and the people are recognized the world over for their fun-loving, warm nature. The Philippines' Aboriginal inhabitants arrived from the Asian mainland around 25,000 BC. They were followed by waves of Indonesian and Malayan settlers from 3000 BC onward. By the 14th century AD, extensive trade was being conducted with India, Indonesia, China, and Japan. Ferdinand Magellan, the Portuguese navigator in the service of Spain, explored the Philippines in 1521. 21 years later, a Spanish exploration party named the group of islands in honor of Prince Philip, who was later to become Philip II of Spain. Spain retained possession of the islands for the next 350 years. The Philippines were ceded to the U.S. in 1899 by the Treaty of Paris after the Spanish-American War. Meanwhile, the Filipinos, led by Emilio Aguinaldo, had declared their independence. They initiated guerrilla warfare against the U.S. troops that persisted until Aguinaldo's capture in 1901. The first U.S. civilian governor general was William Howard Taft. The Jones Law 1916 established a Philippines legislature composed of an elective Senate and House of Representatives. The Tydings-McDuffie Act 1934 provided for a transitional period until 1946, at which time the Philippines would become completely independent, which came to be under a constitution approved by the people of the Philippines in 1935. On December 8, 1941, the islands were invaded by Japanese troops, following the fall of General Douglas MacArthur's forces at Bataan and Corridor. Quezon instituted a government in exile that he headed until his death in 1944. He was succeeded by Vice President Sergio Osmeña. U.S. forces under MacArthur reinvaded the Philippines in October 1944, and after the liberation of Manila in February 1945, Osmeña reestablished the government. Today in Manila, the spacious American military cemetery lists the names state by state on enclosed walls and honors each one of the over 7,000 American soldiers who died here fighting during the war. This cemetery is visited daily by people from around the world.